Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap. Now only around 15 days are left for the RBI Grade B Phase 1 examination, and I know all of you are putting a lot of hard work, you all are putting a lot of your efforts for the Phase 1. Now coming to the general awareness section that carries the highest marks, that carries the maximum weightage. It is like the ocean that never ends, and you all are preparing very hard for the schemes, for the reports, and in that preparation most of the students have sidelined the banking awareness, the finance current affairs, and many of you might not be preparing sufficiently for the banking awareness. So for that, to boost the level of your preparation, to make you prepared for the banking awareness, I have brought for you the most important 50 terms for the banking awareness that you must know about, and I will show you the previous year questions that will show you that how important the banking awareness is and how easy the question comes, that if you know these 50 terms you will be able to answer the questions. So this is going to boost the level of your preparation for the general awareness section. But before starting with these 50 very important terms, there is the announcement from EduTap that there is the complete guidebook that has been brought for the RBI Grade B, in which you are getting the complete syllabus, you are getting the sources from which you need to study, from which you need to prepare, as well as you are getting the previous year questions in this single guidebook. So do download this guidebook. The link is provided in the description box below. So now starting with the terms, with the important 50 terms, these are the important 10 terms in the start. So I hope you already know about the inflation targeting. Okay, inflation targeting is what? You all know, 4% plus minus 2%. Who decides inflation targeting? It is the government of India who decides the inflation target in consultation with the RBI. For how many years the inflation targeting is determined? For 5 years. So these basic understanding you all must be aware about. Talking about the Monetary Policy Committee, how many members are there in the Monetary Policy Committee? So there are the 6 members. How many members are appointed by the government of India? There are the 3 members. Why are we talking about such easy questions, such easy understanding? Because such questions has been asked in the previous year. In the 2022, there was the question. In the previous year, there was the question about the members of the Monetary Policy Committee, the members that are chosen by the government of India. So you can understand that from these 50 terms, there can be direct, easy questions that you can grasp, that marks you can directly get. So these are the important terms that you should not miss, and you must be aware about the basics of these terms. Okay. About the repo rate, standing deposit facility. Now these are the 50 terms that are quite in news in the 3 to 6 months, in the previous 3 to 6 months, and that's why they become very important, okay, for your understanding. The repo rate, standing deposit facility, marginal standing facility, cash reserve ratio, statutory liquidity ratio, these are the ratios, these are the rates that directly affects the banks. And the Reserve Bank of India, it is the Reserve Bank of India that is the monetary authority, that is the regulatory body of the banks. So you can understand that these terms that affects the banks, that is determined by the Monetary Policy Committee, by the RBI. So these terms are very important. Why? What kind of questions will be framed from such topics, from such terms? So you can see that directly the current marginal standing facility, what is it? It has been asked in the 2021 examination Phase 1, and the Monetary Policy Committee, you can see how many members in the Monetary Policy Committee are appointed by the government of India. The CRR, there was the decision, important decision that has been taken by the MPC, and that decision was questioned in the RBI. That you know about that decision or not. So the MPC, the decisions, the current Monetary Policy Committee meeting that has happened in June 2023, you can understand that that is important. So related to these terms, you need to have the basic understanding, and you need to know the current context, okay, the current news articles about these topics, about these terms, okay. Primary urban cooperative banks, again this is also quite in news. The RBI has changed the tiers. It was divided in 2 tiers, now it is divided in 4 tiers. The CRAR, the net worth, the extension of the timeline that has been given for the priority sector lending achievement. So there is too much news that is coming regarding the primary urban cooperative banks. This is the term, like the primary urban cooperative banks, you need to have the basic understanding about this, and the news articles that are revolving around it, it becomes very important. Okay, too much news is coming regarding the primary urban cooperative banks in the past 3 to 6 months. Capital adequacy ratio, now for the primary urban cooperative banks, the net worth, the capital adequacy ratio, if there is any news regarding the capital adequacy ratio, there is direct question that has been seen in the phase 1 in the previous 2-3 years regarding the capital adequacy ratio and the net worth. So these also you need, like this term also, if it is in news, you need to understand about it, you need to have the clarity about it, and the current context you need to know. Now the portals of the RBI or the platforms like the Prava is the portal, the platform that the RBI is thinking to launch for the ease of the regulatory entities, for them to have ease in the application, validation and such criteria. So Antardrishti, Prava, Daksh, these are the platforms, the portals that has been launched by RBI recently, and they become very important for you all because direct question can be framed from such. Now coming to the next 10 important terms, the UPI. There was a direct question in the previous year regarding the UPI Pay Now linkage. There is too much news about the UPI. The RuPay credit card is onboarded on UPI. The UPI, the PPIs, the limit of the rupees, like the PPIs that is provided for the foreigners. So that is linked, that is going to pay through the UPI QR code. So there is too much news that is going on regarding the UPI, and you need to have the clarity about the UPI, and you need to have the basic understanding of the news articles also. NPCI, now NPCI is the mother of the innovations in the payment system. All the important innovations that has happened under the NPCI. So the NPCI as well as the innovations that has happened under NPCI becomes very important. Directly the question can be framed from this. Liberalized remittance scheme. So this is the, like in the previous year, there was a question on the PIDF scheme, because the PIDF scheme of the RBI was quite in news. Now the liberalized remittance scheme is quite in news. The RBI is has made some changes in the liberalized remittance scheme, has brought the international credit cards under the, it has been brought by the Ministry of Finance. The Ministry of Finance has brought the credit cards, international credit card, under the liberalized remittance scheme. So you can understand that when the LRS is quite in news, the question can be directly framed from this, from the scheme or from the current context. The Udyam Assist platform, now this was launched in this year only by the Ministry of MSME, and this is like the MSMEs and the Udyam Assist portal or anything that is related to the MSME is important. The Reserve Bank Integrated Ombudsman Scheme, the annual report of the Reserve Bank of India for the Ombudsman Scheme has been released. In the previous year also there was a question regarding the annual report that was from the static knowledge. Now you need to have the static understanding of the Integrated Ombudsman Scheme as well as the current knowledge, that is the highlights of the annual report of the Ombudsman Scheme you must know about. Okay. Foreign exchange reserves, again they are being talked about a lot because the RBI had to use the foreign exchange reserves to manage the depreciation, to lower the depreciation that was happening in the rupees. Wholesale price index, consumer price index, you must know about the index as well as the current percentages for these index. The non-performing assets, now this is again important. The banks were ranked for the on the basis of non-performing assets. So the Bank of Maharashtra had the least non-performing assets. So this is the current context, you need to have the basic understanding. Okay. Prevention of Money Laundering Act, the cryptocurrency has been brought under the ambit of Prevention of Money Laundering Act, and it becomes very important. Okay. Now coming to the other finance current affairs and the banking awareness terms, that is current account deficit, fiscal deficit. You need to have the basic understanding as well as you need to understand and know about the percentages, the current percentages that is quite in discussion recently. Financial Inclusion Index and the Digital Payment Index. So there was a question regarding the Digital Payment Index in the previous year, and you can understand that these indexes are very important. Now the Financial Inclusion Index is quite in news. Okay, so the question can directly come from the Financial Inclusion Index. FSDC, the meetings are going on, and due to this the FSDC is quite important. Now the CCPI, this was discussed in the report on currency and finance. So this CCPI, like what is the rank of India in the CCPI? Currently the RBI is focusing a lot on the green deposits, on the climate change, on the greenwashing, and so the CCPI, the direct question can come on this, that what is the ranking of India? Okay. Non-banking financial companies, again you need to have the basic understanding of the NBFCs. Special Vostro account, Nostro account, they are important. Now special Vostro account, the basic understanding is needed because the RBI has launched this special Boston account, this kind of thing, for the internationalization of the rupee. Okay, priority sector lending. Now the urban cooperative banks have been given the extra timeline. Okay, the timeline has been extended to achieve the priority sector lending target. So you need to have the understanding about the priority sector lending and the targets for the different kind of banks. Digital payments. Now this is the concept that has been currently added into the syllabus. So anything regarding the digital payments, especially the percentages, you need to be clear about. Surety bonds and the e-bank guarantee. Now the surety bonds is quite in discussion recently, because for the insurance companies have to provide these bonds for the surety kind of thing for the insurance, for the infrastructure projects. So surety bonds have become quite in news regarding their surety that they will provide to the government of India in case of the infrastructure projects, and the e-bank guarantee is also in news recently. You need to have the basic understanding of the surety bonds. Who provides the surety bonds? It is the insurance companies. The e-bank guarantee, the banks provided. Now the bank guarantee, before it was in the physical form, now it is being launched in the electronic form, and it is quite in use. Some bank or the other is releasing the e-bank guarantee, and it has become quite prominent and quite famous now, we can say. Now coming to the other 10 important terms, the CBDC. Now the central bank digital currency, it is important from the phase 1, from the phase 2, from the interview point of view. So you need to have the clarity about the e-rupee retail pilot, e-rupee wholesale pilot, which banks are participating, which areas the CBDC has been launched for, the sustainable finance, green deposits, green finance, green washing. These are the terms. The framework for the green deposits was released by the RBI, and the RBI is focusing a lot on these terms. The RBI has joined in the green washing text print also. So you can understand. As well as for the banks will be providing these green deposits. So from the banking awareness point of view, from the finance current affairs point of view, these terms are very important. Okay. RTGS, IMPS. So a direct question has come in the previous year regarding the RTGS. You can understand that the direct question can come regarding their limits or regarding the definitions also. Okay. Trade receivables discounting system. So the boost has been provided. Upgradation of the trades platform has been provided by introducing the secondary platform, by introducing the insurance facility in trades. So you need to have the basic understanding of trades. That what is this platform? This is the online platform for the discounting of the trade receivables. So have the basic understanding as well as understand the current context also. Okay, so London interbank offer rate and the secured overnight financing rate. So these are the LIBOR has been said that we will not be using the LIBOR. The bank should not be using the LIBORs. The bank should start using the alternate reference rate, that is SOFR. So you need to have the basic understanding. The full forms can be asked. So these terms become very important. Liquidity adjustment facility. Now in the liquidity adjustment facility, there is the repo rate. On the repo rate, the SDF and the MSF is determined. Okay, that is the repo rate, the SDF is less than the repo rate by 0.25% and the MSF is greater than the repo rate by 0.25%. SDF was brought by the RBI in April 2022. It was introduced by the RBI in April 2022 in the LAF facility, and it has been quite in news recently. Unclaimed deposits. Now every revision session that I take, there are the questions on the unclaimed deposits. There is the news on the unclaimed deposits, and the unclaimed deposits are going to what? It is going to Depositor Education and Awareness Fund. Now coming to the last 10 important terms, that is floating rate bond. So again, government, like in the government securities, the floating rate bond is in news every month. Okay, that their coupon is floating and the coupon is variable on the basis of the 182-day T-bills. So floating rate bond, have the basic understanding. Domestic systemically important banks, so they are the 3 banks, and do know about these 3 banks. The additional CET, that is the common equity tier 1. What is the additional CET they have to maintain? The Bharat bill payment system, it has been in news because of the cross-border inbound payments that will be allowed through the Bharat bill payment system. Clean note policy. Under this policy, the rupees 2000 notes are being withdrawn from the economy. Reserve Bank Innovation Hub. So Reserve Bank Innovation Hub, this is collaborating with many banks and is bringing the innovation in the payment system. Okay, open network for digital commerce. Like there was a question regarding the in which section this company comes. So regarding the ONDC, which has been quite in news recently, so it also is the non-profit organization. It comes under this section 8, and the ONDC is being compared with the UPI. So basic understanding of ONDC is needed. Okay, when it was formed, which organizations are connected with this ONDC, so you need to have the basic understanding. Credit growth, the percentages directly are important. Directly the question can come. Deposit insurance and credit guarantee cooperation. A question has come from this in the previous year, and a question can come now also. So the DICGC, you need to have the basic understanding of DICGC. Contingency risk buffer. So recently the RBI has transferred the surplus to the government of India. What is that surplus? As well as the buffer that has been maintained by the RBI for the risk, for the contingency situation. So that is 6%. What is the range of this contingency risk buffer? 5.5% to 6.5%. Basic understanding you need to have. Micro, small and medium enterprises, I have told you it is directly important. MSMEs, direct question has been asked in the previous year, and you can understand that the MSMEs, the news is continuously like the MSMEs are continuously in news regarding the Udyam Assist portal or the Udyam registration portal. So MSMEs, the difference you need to know, and the like how the micro enterprises are determined, how the small and the medium enterprises are determined. So you need to have the differentiation, you need to understand the differentiation. So this was all. These were the 50 important terms that I hope you already know about. Do tell me in the comment section that out of these 50 terms, how many terms you are already aware about and you have the good understanding about those terms. 40 terms. Okay, and the new terms that you have learned, so do understand about them and do have the basic understanding of those terms, because such kind of questions should not be ticked wrong. Okay, you should not answer these questions wrong. This is the motive of this session. Okay, so do tell me that how many terms you already knew about and how many new terms you have learned that you are going to go to Google now and you are going to learn it today. Okay, so how many terms you already knew about and how many new terms that you have seen today? So do tell me about that in the comment section. And we have brought for you, the EduTap team has brought for you the ultimate test series that is going to make you the 100% current affairs ready. Because we know that in the general awareness section, mostly the students have the problem ki revise kaise kare, practice kaise kare. So here we have brought for you to be 100% current affairs ready. You have to invest only 24 hours and you will be completely ready for the examination. See, 25 minutes mein 80 questions solve karne hain. You have to practice MCQs to be able to read the question and answer immediately. Practice revision, that can be done through the MCQs. So you can have this ultimate test series that is for the RBI Grade B 2023 for the general awareness, and it is like flat 75% off. So let me show you that. So we are providing you the flat 75% off. You can use the code RBI75 and you can have this ultimate test series through which you will be 100% current affairs ready. You will get to know that how to solve the questions, how to attempt the questions. Okay, and thank you very much. Do subscribe to our YouTube channel and join channel. If you have any query, you can mail us through this in this ID, and you can contact us through this number. So thank you very much everyone. I hope you have understood something from this session, and the 50 important terms, those are important. The direct questions can come from those terms. The current context, so you need to know about the current context, because these are the terms that are continuously in use in the 5 to 6 like 3 to 6 months previously. So all the very best for the examination. Work hard and I know that you will have the good results. So all the very best for the examination.